Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brethren, my akatim, my brothers and my sisters. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Most definitely, most graciously in this time, it's beautiful to be around my own kind. Thank you for your beautiful energy, my kin. Because with you, when I sit among you, I know I win. Thank you for riding with me like a fish paddling with its only fin. When they come around us, it's never no end. All right, I'm done. I'm done. I promise. For a few seconds. But a few seconds later, I might start rhyming again. As you guys can see from the title of the video, be ye in the world, but be ye not of it. I think it's a beautiful title and a beautiful time for something like this to be spoken of. Because we know what happens. We're seeing what happened around this time. And you guys know me or anyone else who thinks they're like me. We're not just focused on a problem, but we are solution-oriented people. Which means that we just don't talk about an issue without coming at you with a solution for it. Now, as I say, be ye in the world, but be ye not of it. What does that mean? Everyone running around left and right, up and down, buying toilet tissue, buying cleaning equipment, buying whatever they can buy to clean their physical body. But their spiritual body is still as wicked, it's still as vile, it's still as unscrupulous, as before. And over here we know that the ruach, that all things, before it manifests in the physical mindset, manifests within the spirit first. The spiral power of existence flows within the etheric body first. And so we see the physical man, the fleshly man, the gentilic man running around doing everything for the physical body, but he's not uplifting his spiritual body. Why is he not uplifting his spiritual body, you ask? Because he doesn't uplift the Heavenly Father within his own mind, within his own walk, with his own talk. The grace of the Heavenly Father is not upon him. And because the grace of the Heavenly Father is not upon him, he can do whatever he wants to do in the physical. He can buy as much herbs as possible. He can buy as much salves, as much healing ointments as possible. He can do all that as possible, which all those things are good. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to clean yourself. It's nice to feel good with some nice little herbs and nice little lotions and all that. But if those things that you're doing in the physical mindset aren't compounded with the spiritual knowledge of the Heavenly Father within your body, all the things that you do in the physical become naught because they're not reverberated within the spiritual body. And so we see the physical man, the man that is of this world, of what we call the satanic kingdom, who believe in the prince of air, who believe in the wicked things of his priests as well, running around doing everything that they can do, but doing nothing at all at the same time. So I say to Yasharal, Yezreel, the bride of the Heavenly Father, prepare yourself for your wedding, because you are not of this world, you are for greater kingdom. Never forget it. You are more than what they tell you are. Because we look out, we turn on TV, we turn on YouTube, we turn on any of the apps. They say, oh my God, African Americans, so-called black people are the new face of the cooties. Or the new face of what they created. We understand what's been going on. We understand that the bite of the serpent has been on our people for generations and millennia now. We understand that the beginning of the garden. We understand that these things are talking about multiple things all at once, but in one aspect of what it's talking about in the garden, the bite of the serpent has bit thy heel. What does that mean? It is targeting the way you maneuver with one another. Now the same venom that was supposed to be between you and the serpent is now between you and your own people. And so now when they say you are now the face of the cooties, you got black people saying, oh, I need to be 6 feet, or I need to be 7 feet, or I need to be 8 feet away from my own people. when in all retrospect and all reality, the more we get around one another in a righteous mindset, the more powerful we become. But again, I say, be ye in the world, but be not of it. We can go back to the book of Daniel, when the Israelites were moaning because of the Babylonian captivity. The Israelites were in the Babylonian captivity because of what? Their own sin and their own wants to follow idols. And the Most High is just. If you follow an idol, you're going to have to bow to an idol. And so the idols that were in the Babylonian kingdom, eventually the Israelites themselves had to worship them. And when they fully came into fruition for them to worship them, they was like, oh no, we don't want to do this. We don't want to live like this. We don't want to bow down to their kings. But the Most High said he would lead you into a kingdom, but he will not let the kingdom destroy you. Look around, Cyril. Look around, Israel. Look around, Isha. Look around, the bridegroom of the Heavenly Father. You're in this kingdom, but it's not destroying you. It's like a branch being pruned. You nick the base of it. Why? So when it's time for it to bloom, it bears more fruit. And so the same thing is being done to you. You're being pricked, in a sense, by being in a kingdom that is not for you and that is not of you. It's of who we call the adversary. But we look around, we see all our people who are not of our mindset, because being a Shemite is not just blood. It's a mindset. It's a labab. It's a mind and heart. If your heart is not circumcised, you are of this world. You are in the world and you are of this world. With the marching orders for us Shemites right now, for us lawful abiders, lawful citizens, is for us to be of the Heavenly Father. Point blank, period. His law and his understanding needs to be the thing that separates us from this kingdom. If you got to wear a face mask to go into their place, here's a little thing I'm going to suggest for you to do. Right? The 10 Commandments is my life. The 10 Commandments is my health. The 10 Commandments is my hedge of protection. I guarantee if you do that, people are going to start looking at you crazy. People are going to start looking at you like you the little baby. People start looking at you like you the one that don't got nothing going on. People are going to start looking at you like, oh my God, what's going on? But in reality, you're the one that's putting on. You're the one that's living long. You're the one that's living strong. You're the one who's doing the right thing. So even if you're in this captivity doing something that you know for a fact, the bite of the serpent is propagating through his media. That something that we know for a fact might not be as true as they're propagating it to be, or might be even worse. But nonetheless, you are a Shabbat keeper, right? You make sure you understand the Heavenly Father's oath within inside of you, right? So you know for a fact that any of the bite that the serpent might give you, although he bites your heel, you are a son of Jacob, so you trample his head. Be ye in the world, but be ye not of it. Live righteously with all men. Dushuaya, the Shulamon, chapter 17. Here's a quick excerpt I want all my brothers to understand. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, we know that we don't have holes inside of us. We know that we're a Kodesh. We know that we're a Nazar nation, which both mean set apart. They being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night lay there, exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. So, brethren, what do you think wisdom of Solomon is trying to get to you right now in chapter 17, verse 2 to 3? We know the most blatant part. It said in verse 2, it said, for when unrighteous men thought to oppress the Kodesh nation, or Kodesh Ummah, they being shut up in their what? In their houses. The prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night lay. Come on, man. I know some of y'all should be out there laughing or something. The Most High already showed you their plan. He already showed you what they do. But now it's in your court. So, Cyril, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue acting like a fool? Or realize that you are the ones that are true? You have to understand that, as I told you in the last video, this is just like a Exodus ritual because they think they are you. It's not just one nation of people. If I'm truly being honest, it's multiple nations of people holding on to the remnants or the garments of us as a people. Now we're supposed to live righteously with all people, respect all people, love your kind. Every Shemite must understand the 10 commandments within himself for him to understand what love truly is. If he doesn't understand love, if he doesn't understand the 10 commandments, he will never understand the fear of the Heavenly Father, which is reverence, which is understanding, which is a just heart. If you don't have a just heart, the terrors that the enemy has for you will never be driven away from you. And with that being said, let me give you another precept. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, once more, verse 8. For they that promise to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air, which could of no side be avoided. So we got these doctors out here who, cooking the books. I'm pretty sure y'all out here, y'all intelligent. Y'all know what spirit cooking is. Y'all know what these people do. But you got people out here who have bowed to the prince of the air, who have bowed to the understanding of the adversary and formed bonds and secret alliances behind closed doors. They form alliances and issue credences that affect the Kodesh nation of the Heavenly Father. And we know that they have some of these medical, as we call doctors, in their back pocket. And they believe everything that they say. Well, truly, although the herbs is good, medicine may be good if it's come from an organic and natural source, which comes from the earthly mother. It will be good. But the true health of your body starts with your reverence for the Heavenly Father. Starts with His grace. Starts with His grace and His mercy. If you truly understand what He's trying to get us to do, He's trying to pull us out of Babylon, pull us out of Egypt, pull us out of all the other nations that are trying to oppress us. Because y'all see what's happening. It's not just what you call, quote unquote, pale man. It's all of them. So we must truly form love within ourselves for one another. Respect other nations, people, yes. Because everyone who's here, the Most High wants to be here. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's true. Honor the 10 commandments within the Father. Be ye not of the world, but be ye transformed by the Ruach HaKodesh. Set yourself apart by honoring His Kodesh Aturah. I'm not saying don't do what you got to do to survive. Bend, but don't break. When it gets to the point of breaking, that means they're asking you to sin against the Heavenly Father's commandments knowingly. We understand that they have their quote-unquote plans. We understand that they control everything that we see in the media. But what do you control within yourself? If anything, if push comes to shove and they do what they want to do, are you going to just bunker down and lose your faith within the Father? I hope not. You know what? Better yet, I know not. Because to be here, you had to go through a lot. You had to dig deep. You had to plant yourself in the roots of the Father. You are like those trees of the kingdom of heaven. They say in the picture that the kingdom of heaven is juxtaposed to a few different seeds, but one of the seeds that I'll tell you about is the seeds that grow for the Father. And those seeds that grow for the Father, the ground that they are on first has to be strong enough to hold them. You're not like the other seeds where the soil is too shallow and then you take root too quickly, but then when the wind comes, it blows you over. You're not like those other seeds where you grow on the rock and the rock is too coarse, so you have no way to grow. No. You are those seeds, you are those men, you are those women, you are those children that are planted deeply in the root system of the Father. And because you're planted so deep, you grow tremendously. His wisdom inside of you is what separates you from other nations of people. And not all kinfolk is skinfolk. Let me let you understand that. Someone can look like you, have the same naps as you, have the same dark skin as you, have the same beautiful skin as you, but their mindset ain't like you. This is a body and spiritual walk. If you say that you are son of Shem, I need you to walk like it. I need you to talk like it. I need you to carry yourself like it. Because we see what they're trying to do. We see the bite of the serpent. We see the bite of the ape trying to manifest itself upon us. I'll give you another precept. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 1. Nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light, whose voice they hearing and not seeing their shape, because they also had suffered the same thing. They counted them happy. Be ye in the world, but be ye not of it. Because guess what? The other nations, the people, anything that might happen, they're going to jump. They're going to run. They're going to do anything. But you, Israel, you, Judah, you have to remember that this is not your end. You never end because you serve the everlasting. And when you serve the everlasting, yes, you might go through a little bump in the road. But when it comes to being pruned, when it comes to being chastised, you're like a diamond being pressurized and not a pipe being burst. So when the pressure comes, you know that you will not burst, but you will be pressurized into a diamond, into that jewel, into that 12 stones of the Levite being worn on his chest. You are next to the heart of the Father. You are boom, 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 beating for his glory. And so when it comes time to understand certain things, you understand that you will be happy. You will be assured, because that is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. So times like this will come. But this should show you that you should not be putting glory in their kingdom. Because their kingdom is not putting glory in you. And so we need to understand that these scripts, the entire Kodesh Sapar, is here to take you far. You need to understand that when you come together with your people, you better come together with them in righteousness. Because that's what the Father wanted all of us to do. That's what the earthly mother is inside of us to do. That's what the energy of the everlasting everlasting people is here wanting for you to do. You have to understand that when we anoint ourselves with his oil, when we understand his true glory and his mercy, you stand up and you be that pillar. You be that pillar and you be that hedge of protection for other people to abide in. You respect every nation of people. You respect every man. But you assure Cyril. You assure Israel. You assure Judah. You assure your people by the way that you live, by honoring the Father, by honoring his commandments and putting them and circumcising your heart with them, putting them on as that diadem, putting them on as that breastplate, putting them on as that fetter on your feet. Put them on so that you can live long and grow strong. Honor his word. Honor his life. And doesn't matter what they try to do, you will have no strife. Eat his herbs. Eat his fruits. Eat his vegetables. Eat his nuts. Eat whatever he gives you to survive. But most importantly, honor. Honor his word. Honor what he tells you to do first. Because when you honor his word, that's when all things you do to your physical body become activated. That's when all things that you do with your mental body become attricated to his will. And so you grow long and live strong. Now, brothers and sisters, I leave you in Shalem as I came to you in Shalem. Be at peace with one another. Take this time out that you have to grow stronger in the word, to grow strong with your family, to honor the surroundings around you, If you whatever you gotta do within your heart, do it. I'm not gonna tell no man not to do nothing. Because each man has to rule himself. The commandments has to be inside of him for him to realize what he needs to do for his community. Honor the commandments within you. Honor the commandments of the Father. Honor the commandments of the earthly mother. Honor the Ruach HaKodesh. Allow his spirit to move within you and through you so that you can live better. All right, with that being said, shalom, brother.